welcome to this week, the weekly social. We have a couple special guests here today. We have Priscilla Pfaff with Select Title. She's a regular. And then we have Patricia Nagle with the First State Bank. So, great. Thanks for coming on, Patricia.
Awesome. Thank you.
So, just to give you a little backdrop, she is a lender. So, can you tell us what attracted you to what you do, Patricia?
So I've been in banking for about 29 years and started out underwriting as a trainee through college and everything else, and really enjoy dealing with people and customizing solutions for them.
Okay.
Every day is different.
Love it.
Every client is different.
It's a learning experience
And
daily, isn't
yes,
it?
so it's a challenge, and it's really nice to start a new project with them and see it through and see multiple projects and just be a part of that development and the growth in various communities.
So, you do a lot of commercial and land acquisition type stuff, is that correct?
Yes, sir. So I'll do either loans for their business, whether it be purchasing real estate, equipment, lines of credit. We also do a lot of land loans for residential purchase. We have a lot of clients that, may be holding on to cash right now, so we only require 15% down. We do a 30-year amortization on that, and they can prepay at any time, so
On a land deal at 15% down, we typically see 20%. So the average person watching this
yes.
probably isn't in tune with that.
Right.
So that's huge, that elevates you.
Sure.
And they're usually interest only.
Right.
That's the other key. They're usually interest only, where they have a fully amortized 30-year fixed rate.
Well, it's
And-
actually
or
a 10-year, it's a 5-year fixed rate.
Okay, so it's a
So
balloon.
they have, hopefully, most people build within 5 years.
Right.
Sure.
So you're redoing that note anyway.
Yep.
Okay.
But maybe their goal is to have most of that land paid off, so they have equity and they don't have to bring as much down.
Sure.
So that's an opportunity. We don't have a prepayment on that.
Okay.
So it's just a great way for them to either prepay more per month. Maybe they have an annual bonus and pay it down, so when they're ready to build, they don't have to come up with so much of a down payment.
Sure.
That's
huge.
cool. That is cool. That is really cool.
And if we do a lot of ranch loan financing also,
Okay.
so individuals maybe that are buying property that has cattle, we have a 30-year amortization on that, very competitive rates right now, fixed for 10 and 15 years.
We're actually sitting at a place that used to be a huge ranch, Cinco Ranch. Most
Yes.
people don't know that about where we're
Yes,
at.
yes, very big. Wow. So on the ranches, do they have to have the ag exemption
Yes, ma'am.
already set
Yes,
up in
ma'am.
it?
And they're
then-
operating it as a ranch or
Okay,
for ag
okay,
purposes. Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
so it's already got to be set up as
Yes.
that, with the ag.
With that
exemption.
current
Okay.
buyer.
Okay, all right.
Now, can they convert that in the future? And I'm just asking to ask.
Yeah, they can convert it, if they have plans to have cattle or ranch or crops, they can do that if that's their purpose of the land,
Mhm.
then that would qualify.
Okay, all right.
Okay, that's great.
Wow, that's cool.
We have to go further west to get to the ranches today. There used to be a lot of ranchettes, is what I call them, the 5 to 10 acre
Mm-hmm.
ranches.
Mm-hmm.
That's few and far
Yes.
between in our local market today.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So Rosenberg, Meadville area, there's a lot
Sure.
of that type property still available.
Which that's more southwest of here, which is really, Richmond, Rosenberg, you can't tell you left one going to the other.
Exactly.
Well, Katy and Berkshire, you're about to have the
Yeah.
same
Oh, I saw the
thing.
rooftops.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're already
Mhm.
together.
Yeah.
Well, Katy, Richmond, Fulshear, Brookshire,
Right.
it's solid rooftops all the way.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And that we're working on Cypress.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Huge growth up there on the north side.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm just thinking of all the different things going on.
Are you aware of anything new coming that we need to share with people as far as businesses, developments, and stuff like that?
Goodness. I've heard of a couple of new developments in the Brazoria County
Mhm.
area
Mhm.
that are happening because of, and I think we were talking about this earlier, Richard, is that, the ports are
Mhm.
growing in our area and a lot of industry is coming in,
I'm
so.
seeing a lot of industrial being built on the outskirts of the city.
Mhm.
So that tells me we're going to be a shipping hub very soon. And I've been researching this, and from all the research that I've done, is a lot of that stuff that hits California is going to get transferred to the Houston port. So within the next 5 to 10 years, we're going to see some explosive growth in our local economy
What's the
with that.
benefit for them doing that?
What the biggest problem they have is a lot of that stuff
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's-
one strike, they said offshore.
Yeah, but
We're right
we
to
don't
work.
have a state tax.
We don't have a state income tax.
Mhm.
And then you're on one side of the country trying to filter it across the whole country versus parking it in the middle of the country and branching out.
Right.
So from a geographical look of it, it makes more sense. Liquidity issues
Yes,
that nobody's talking about?
yes. They are, a lot of builders are doing their own financing
Okay.
because rates are a little bit higher than what we've gotten spoiled with.
We
Or
got
the-
drunk on those, by
Yes,
the way.
yes.
Yes.
So a lot of builders are carrying owner financing at lower rates to move inventory, or
Okay.
there may be discounting. So you may want to compare both options when you're in that market. But we help on the builder side. We do a lot of financing for townhomes. We do a lot of office condo financing.
Okay.
Whether it's a full project or actually financing just that individual unit.
Will you do the SBA loans for those?
We do, the only SBA loans we currently do are 504s. And so
Okay.
that's when a real estate loan is involved. We do a 50% on the first loan, SBA does 40, and then the client just has to come up with 10%.
Wow.
But that's only for owner occupied.
Okay.
So if you have somebody that's renting and wants to buy, a facility and has all that rental history, that's really a great product for them.
Okay.
That second lien,
That is cool.
that second lien with SBA is fixed for 25 years. So that's a really great product that we're seeing. We do not do the 7A loans, which is more of a loan that SBA does that when they're short on maybe collateral.
Okay, okay.
We don't do those loans. I have a partner that I can definitely refer those to. But at this point, that's a very specialized field. You need a team
Right.
to do that, to do it really well. And we're not quite there yet.
Okay.
It's something we've looked into, but we're not quite there yet.
Because we've seen quite a few of those on the office condos, the SBAs.
Office condos have grown in popularity. Well, you can own it.
You're not paying rent.
You're not paying
You
rent.
got a write-off
Mhm.
for your company. So it's a win-win
It's
for everybody.
win-win.
Mhm.
And there's strength in numbers because if somebody's going back there to see ABC company, they can see your company, so you get
Sure.
free marketing as well, in my opinion.
True.
So we'll finance that unit if they're able to make 20% down. They don't go through SBA. And we'll do a 20-year AM on those also. So we'll
Okay.
finance those.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's another option. I do a lot of kind of unique things. I tend to have I have a lot of clients that I was in private banking most of my career, so the physicians, the attorneys, they have.
More wealth management type
Yes,
stuff.
we do boat financing, we do aircraft financing.
Oh, wow.
So I probably have the most diversified portfolio that you will ever see, which is fun. It's absolutely fun.
It's
So-
relationship.
So how are you able to do that? So it's the way your bank is set up.
Yeah, we are a
And-
community bank. We were founded in the 50s. Our current leadership, their grandfather started the bank in
Okay.
Louise, Texas, on the other side of El Campo. So we bank people. We bank, community type businesses. We don't do a lot of weird stuff, like technology and those kind of things, We do basic services, essential services is
Okay.
our niche. On the deposit side, we don't have a lot of fees on our accounts.
Okay.
They can remote deposit with our scanner. We give them the scanner.
Wow.
And so most banks will charge between $700 to $1,000 for that.
Wow.
Most of our services, we don't currently have fees on, so we're trying to do that relationship banking.
Sure.
And so that's really a niche for us. We're finding coming into Sugar Land, we just have our new location that opened here. Everyone's charging for everything. So we're trying to relationship price. And so
Oh, that's
been a great-
awesome.
It's been a great.
So they need to come see you
Yeah,
so they
absolutely.
don't get
Yeah.
charged all the
Yes.
fees.
And we should be planning our grand opening later in March for our Sugar Land location.
Love to come to it.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yes.
Me
Send
too.
it to us so that
Yeah.
we can push it out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, that's huge.
Yes, yes.
That's
So-
cool. And it's still family owned.
Absolutely. And our board of directors is a group of most family members also.
Wow.
So, yeah, just
That's a rarity in today's
Absolutely.
banking environment.
Yeah.
Because
absolutely.
Mhm.
it may look like a mom and pop shop, but it's owned by a bigger bank typically.
Right. But you get to go into those meetings and share what's going on and
Absolutely.
keep them informed, and so
Correct.
what y'all can give back.
And they're
make it
listening to you,
happen.
they're hearing you, so therefore, if you need something or something special for relationship, you can get that. That's awesome. Thank you, Priscilla.
We're gonna bring in Denise Tomasini.
Okay.
Spring
Good
Lending.
morning, Richard, thank you for putting this together this morning.
Yes.
And Patricia coming out, Priscilla.
I'm excited.
Gets to use her
She's
beautiful
got some great
office.
Yes.
And so I'm excited because commercial, there's big need, and I get calls for commercial, and I don't do commercial. And I loved that. I wanted to talk for a minute. I wanted to kind of go back to the farm and ranch and talking about, because that's a growing market, and my husband's a farmer, so I have a passion for it. And you're lending on farm and ranch, barn dominiums, you know, because barn dominiums can be unique, although that's a growing market that's been a big, popular.
Tiny homes.
Yeah, tiny homes. So for building a barn dominium, you can lend on that, and when you're looking at your comps for your appraisal, does it have to be common for the area? Can they?
It should be
Okay.
common, and our appraiser takes care of that, you know, to make sure we have valuable comps and everything else. But that's always a challenge with anything in real estate.
Right.
Making sure you have those comps. But also on the ag side, we're primarily an ag bank. So most of our lending that's in Wharton, you know, kind of El Campo way, rice farmers. So anyone needing ag lending, that's not something I do.
Okay.
But I know what cattle and what everything are, but that's not my expertise.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So we have several lenders that are in Wharton, El Campo, Victoria Way, that do a lot of financing, whether it be a cattle operation, you know, a crop operation. We are one of the preferred lenders on the ag side too, and that's primarily what the bank does. And when I came on board about 6 years ago, I was interviewing, and I'm like, I'm not an ag lender. I know what that is,
Right.
but I do a lot of commercial real estate, I do a lot of real estate, and so it's been a great opportunity to work with the bank and then diversify. But that's another thing we do, you know, farmers have challenges every year, it seems like, whether it's drought or flood
Oh,
or
sure.
rain. And so you need to be with a community bank that understands.
The local market,
Yes,
not the national
absolutely.
For
market.
your crops.
Yes.
Or you're a hay farmer, or,
Yes.
you know, crops, or
Yes.
vegetables, yeah.
So we do a lot of that too. I don't personally, but
Okay.
the bank does.
That's awesome.
Yes.
So would you lend on tractors or?
Yes,
different-
we do
okay,
equipment.
So equipment,
Okay.
Yes.
improvements,
Yes.
That's
all of that.
great,
Yes.
yeah.
Which Katy was a huge rice community. Now that
Mhm.
most of it's been converted into development today.
Sure.
But there's still a lot of farmers right on the outskirts of the city limits we drive
Absolutely.
around. So
Mhm.
a lot of people that think Katy, Fulshear, Richmond, small town playing big city,
Mhm.
there's still a lot of rural
Oh.
farms around us
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
We drive past them going to the subdivision.
all the time.
All the time.
Drive down 529,
Yeah, yeah.
Morton Ranch Road, I pick something, Clay Road.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, right there at I-10, what is it, 363, right there off of the Katy Freeway. You're going out, Fulshear.
362, I think.
362, okay, right up that. You know, you go left, go south, and
Mhm.
same thing. You see the subdivisions, and before you get to the subdivisions, you see all the farmland.
Mhm.
It's just, it's sprawling, urban sprawl is what I call it. So it's not if, it's when, it just keeps moving further west, north and south.
Sure.
The other thing I love too is that caught my attention is you're lending on commercial property, and it's at you were talking about the prime rate that you're
Mhm,
lending,
mhm,
which is.
Prime rate right now is 8.5,
Yeah.
which is a little bit higher
But
than
still, that's
we've
great.
been used to. Some of our ag lending is less than that. So we, like I said, we relationship price. The more business they have with us, we bundle price. So the better deal they get. So we want all of their business.
Right,
You know, we want to be able to build that relationship and help them with everything.
absolutely,
Yes.
yeah, and really build that relationship.
Absolutely.
And help them with all the services needed for their customers,
Correct.
which I think is fantastic.
Thank you.
And there's a need for that, because you don't see that. The banks have all gotten into the big brick and mortar, we miss that personal
If it doesn't
opportunity.
fit in the
When
sandbox,
they walk
they walk away from
You
it.
know their name, you know, when they walk in the
Sure.
bank, you know,
Right.
you have a personal relationship with them, and I love that, we miss that today. Kind of the old fashioned way of banking.
And I like going making house calls, what I say.
Yeah.
I like going to their place of business. It's great when they come see me, but I wanna see, what they're doing and how they're growing and how they're developing and interact with their team of employees. How can we build that relationship, not just with the owner, but their team?
Sure.
Cause it takes a team to do everything nowadays.
Oh, yeah.
They say it takes a village to raise a child, but
Yes.
Yeah, yes.
no, yeah, one
You don't-
person can't do
You
everything.
don't realize that it takes the village to close a loan, as we
Absolutely.
both know. You know,
Absolutely.
you have, starts with, Patricia at the bank, then it goes to the processor, then to the underwriter, and
The realtor, the
Insurance,
title
realtor,
company.
yes,
title.
yes, insurance,
Yes.
yes.
Attorneys,
Yes.
there's an army of people that work behind a transaction.
Exactly.
Yes, yeah.
But that's what allows me to do what I do.
Mhm.
Because without those people, I couldn't do all this.
Absolutely.
There's just no way.
And you can still provide the personal relationship service to
Right.
which is
Exactly.
so important.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I originally met Patricia, just to give you a backdrop, at a HARD luncheon.
Yes.
You were a guest speaker.
Yes.
I was running for the HARD Board of Directors at that time.
Okay.
And after she came back from speaking, she sat right down next to me, if I remember correctly.
Yes,
So
yes.
that's how we met.
Yes, absolutely.
yeah.
Mhm.
So, and we just
Yes.
exchanged cards and connected,
Absolutely.
done some networking events together
Exactly.
since then. And here to help everybody grow their businesses.
Mhm.
Yes, yeah, in our local community, local
Right.
businesses.
Right.
Yeah.
And I met you at one of Richard's
Yeah,
networking events.
yes.
See how we can partner on things that I can do, help each other, yes
and grow
ma'am.
each other's
Yes.
business.
We have
yes.
two lenders sitting side by side, so,
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
well, same thing in real estate. I mean,
You help
I
each
do other
other.
realtors.
You help each other. for the
Their
better
wheelhouse
of
is
the
this, mine's that, and
Mhm. Right.
And you help each other for the better to grow each other's
Mhm.
business. So,
yeah.
complement each other.
Mhm. And I
So-
think a client respects when you say, you know what, that's not something I can do,
Or I can
but
get you a better.
I can, or I can partner you with someone else that can
Yes.
take care of that better than I can. I think
Yes.
we always respect that and value that time savings with
And
having
you
to
build
start someone. Absolutely.
relationships. God, you build relationships to trust and stuff.
Mhm.
You gotta do what's best for the consumer
Right.
always,
Mhm.
so. And I love that. Now I know, hey, I've got a great
Absolutely.
commercial friend
Mhm.
and there's things we can work together on,
Mhm.
even on the residential side.
Right, absolutely. Mhm.
Because you're gonna have different programs than she has, she's gonna have different programs than
Mhm.
you.
Mhm.
Right.
And you can still provide a high level of service for
Mhm.
both y'all's clients,
Sure,
so that's
exactly.
exciting.
Mhm.
So, what do you see happening in our industry for 2024? Everybody wants to know that crystal ball. And I don't
laugh.
think anybody really knows.
I laugh
So-
because I say if I knew that, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing.
That's right. Yeah,
If we
sit
all
on
knew
these,
that,
right?
you know,
Yeah.
I think rates at some point are gonna come down this year.
Yeah.
Who knows when? Who knows when or how much or how fast? But I think just in general, land and real estate is always a great investment.
They're not making any more dirt.
Yes, and so, you know, your value in those assets typically appreciates. And so it's a great investment, whether it's at a higher rate now. I'm telling my commercial customers, if you can make it work now at the rate it is, you're gonna be sitting pretty when rates go down.
Correct.
Yeah.
So that's just, I
Yeah,
think,
the time to buy is now.
yes.
That's what
Mhm.
people want to wait for the rates to come down. Don't do that.
Then the prices go up.
Then the prices
Yes,
go up. It's
yes.
a teeter-totter
You're
effect.
better off to get it at the right price, even if it's at a higher rate. in
It's
my
less
opinion.
competition today too, because
Absolutely.
Refinance.
when the rates come down, everybody races back in.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and then refinance when the rates
Right.
come down, and in most cases, your lender, it's a relationship, are gonna work with you with some type of typical
Concession or
Mhm.
something.
discount to help you
Sure.
with that refinance. Yeah.
No,
So
and
it's an exciting time. I think 2024 is a new year. It's a great year. It's going back to taking care of people, which is what we've always done.
Mhm.
We're all line-wide, customer service
Sure.
driven. And I think Houston is, what a wonderful market.
Absolutely.
It's
Oh,
in
yeah.
all the metropolitan, Victoria,
Mhm.
Richmond, all the areas that are growing together. So I think it's gonna be a great year. and.
I also think we're back to a normal year,
Absolutely.
because I study everything,
Mhm.
Absolutely.
and if you look at 2019 numbers versus where we're at today, that's back to a normal market, and a lot of people don't understand what a normal market is.
Because we expect now 2020 and 2021 to be our normal market, and constantly the economist, you know, our chief economist, I listened to his presentation. It was wonderful, and he said, you have to realize that's not a normal market. That was
It was
during COVID.
unprecedented, and they said that during those times, but nobody they don't remember unprecedented.
Right.
They just remember all the good stuff.
It's a healthier market today.
It is.
And I do think rates will come down. Everything I'm reading and hearing, and again, I'm not an expert, I don't want to portray that, but everything I'm hearing is that we probably won't see a change with the federal rate this quarter. They're going to meet next week, and it may even be after the first quarter of spring or even summer. And it's going to be a very gradual, slow.
Because inflation is still on the horizon.
They're still on the horizon, and they still are focused on that 2% inflation number. And what are we today? 3.25, I think. 3.3, something like that.
Probably about right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
And I understand food and energy, you know, such as your gas prices and stuff are not included in that inflation number, is my understanding.
Which food's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I spent $300 at the grocery store and go, what did I buy?
Right, yes, you too.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, but,
Looking forward to those prices maybe coming down.
so we need more farmers, access to more money,
Yes.
so that they can provide
More
more stuff,
food, absolutely.
so that it's more competitive to
Right.
keep the
Yes,
everything
yeah,
down.
Yeah, and get our gas prices down too, because that brings cost of goods down as well.
Yeah, fuel has a lot to do with the cost of goods as well, because of the shipping and transportation costs, you're correct.
Yeah, I'm excited.
It's funny, you see Denise, she reminds me of Green Acres. Now I'm saying my age. When you meet her husband, he looks like the Marlboro man. Like he just came in off the trail. I mean,
The cowboy hat.
Richard, yep.
It's like a Priscilla laughing, because you know,
Yes.
his cowboy boots, his blue jeans, his cowboy hat. Oh,
His
yeah.
guns.
He's your farmer, oh yeah,
Yeah.
he fits right in the, with the farmer,
Mhm.
and you're absolutely right, he's our country rural guy, I'm your
City girl.
I'm your city girl, yeah. But somehow it works, and we make it work, yeah.
Yeah, most people out there probably don't even know what Green Acres is. It's a TV show from a long time ago.
Long time
I'll
ago.
just leave that there.
Yeah. But he's the banker, and they decide they're gonna buy land and move to the country, but they're still city people.
Yep.
Yeah, he's trying to make her a farmer, and he's trying to be a farmer, but he's really a banker, and that's a cute show.
Yeah, that was a fun show to
Yeah,
watch.
yeah.
So what else do we have going on in the banking industry, right? I mean, there's a lot of spinning plates out there.
There is. There's a lot of programs. I think Patricia's got a lot of exciting programs on the commercial side, and she can also do residential. We don't want to ignore that
Sure.
today for her. So they can do all the FHA, VA conventional as well for their customers, and I think, you know, for us, I'm seeing just a good mix of business. My first-time home buyers with the bond money. We want all our first-time. You don't have
But
to.
they have opportunity today. So, and I applaud that because we did not have that in COVID. The first-time home buyer and the VA people, they weren't even allowed to see at the table, in my opinion. It was tough.
It was tough because they had to put an offer in before the house even went on the market.
For thousands over asking, and they had X amount of capital, and once you got beyond that, they couldn't compete. And I hate to say it, a lot of sellers and listing agents, when they only advertised conventional or cash only, and that was it.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have the 20% down, they just wouldn't even entertain it.
And now they are, so that's wonderful. And the state of Texas has some fabulous programs out there for our homeowners, for our home buyers who are looking, first-time home buyers, and you don't have to be a first-time home buyer. Maybe you've owned a home, but he went through a divorce or went through some.
Income, that's
It's
the other
not.
myth.
It's not.
Everybody thinks down payment assistance or grant money or whatever, well, I make a good living, I'm not gonna qualify. No, you'd be amazed.
Well,
Right, as long as you meet the, income limits, which are, depending on the county you're buying in, are strong.
Sure.
And then you can, anywhere from 3 to 5% if they qualify, they need a 620 middle score or better. And take advantage of utilizing those funds that the state of Texas offers to you as a consumer for home ownership. So we're seeing that. We're seeing a lot of, I'm personally seeing more of also of the non-qualified mortgage programs, which don't quite fit in the Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac box. They're still solid, good buyers. In most cases, they need 20% down, but you might see that small business owner that can't qualify on their tax returns, and maybe because of depreciation, depletion. I'm not a CPA, I've got to be careful, but their taxes are not quite fitting for whatever reason. Then they can use a profit and loss statement on bank statement, whatever. Yeah, and they need, in most cases, they need 20% down. It is a higher rate, but it's a great, better than you're paying rent at 100%.
100% interest.
100% interest, and you're not getting any bills.
Right.
It still befuddles me how many consumers that rent, I'm gonna wait for rates to come down. And it's like you're paying 100% interest today, you're building zero equity.
And the price is going up every day.
Every day it goes up, it gets further and further away from you.
Yes, so buy now and control your housing cost, which for most of us is one of our biggest monthly expenses and our biggest investment. So bring that, buy now and control that cost going. There's your inflation right there. There's your inflation.
Well, you can outrun inflation by having the asset.
Yes. Yeah.
Because that asset goes up with the inflation. Or if you just put money and park it in a bank, it typically grows mold. And I know you guys are lenders, but unless you're in the business of lending money, it's tough to,
Exactly.
it's tough.
Oh, yeah.
We still have a lot of cash buyers. I think a lot of people
Yeah, good
still have a
point.
lot of
Good point.
cash that, they don't like the rate now.
Right.
But later on, when it comes down, then we do a lot of cash out refinances later on, because they have the equity in that asset.
Oh, sure.
So that's another thing that we were seeing a lot. My main competition was the Tons Cash.
Okay.
So can't compete with cash.
No, there is a lot of
Yeah,
cash
so
on the street around here.
Still.
There is. People be amazed. I mean, they'll say, oh, the market slowed down or whatever. Like, I would
Well,
say
the
almost
prices
half of
went
what
up.
I do is cash.
Well, now they can sell, prices have gone up, so they're walking away with that
And they have
equity.
huge equity.
Excuse me, absolutely.
I was at the Ted Jones event down at the Portland Chamber.
Okay.
I don't know if you
Didn't
made it
make
to
that.
it.
Didn't make it to that one, but.
But I'll share, they did give us the information, I'll share it out with you. But they're claiming from COVID to now, in our local market, the average consumer, homeowner, picked up 36% in home equity. So that's huge. I mean, you're knocking between 35 and 40% in a very short amount of time. You're not gonna do that on Wall Street or, it's tough to do that in anything else.
I mean, my 401k hasn't done that, so.
Yeah.
Right.
The sky was falling for
Use me
some
as an
people.
example.
Exactly,
Why not?
exactly.
I'll use me as the example.
You try to stay away from the skies falling, people. Be positive.
Yes, well,
But I'm just
but if
saying,
you cash out, then it is a true
I'm just
loss.
saying
You gotta
that
write the
it's
store
true.
out.
I'm just saying, my point is my 401k is not, return like your real estate
Absolutely.
investment has returned.
Oh yeah, if you bought 2019, you're sitting pretty.
Right, right.
So, and then hopefully you refinanced when the rates came down during that event. So,
Right.
if you did that, but that creates another set of problems, which is the inventory that we have a lack of. Because the people that are with that huge equity and those low interest rates, a lot of them are just, they're sitting on their hands, they're not moving. They're what I call rate locked. Are you seeing that as well?
Yes, yes. They have a 2 or 3% rate that we're probably never gonna see again. and-
Right. And then
They don't wanna
you
get out of
keep
that.
That's correct.
Right.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think we'll see that again in our lifetime, I
I
don't.
don't think
That's
so.
a long time coming down. I mean, and it's a healthier market if we're, you know, we're in a fair, healthier
Sure.
market.
Sixes historically, if you look
Yes.
at it over a broad span of 100
Absolutely.
years, that is still cheap interest.
Absolutely.
It is,
It is.
Mhm.
Oh,
in the
yeah.
grand scheme of things.
Right. Absolutely.
So I remember refinancing to get into the sixes. So again, I'm old. But
Right, right. It's, and I remember too, I can remember my, you know, my parents, my grandparents, they were paying double digit.
oh, in the 80s, the savings and loan crisis, I mean, 18%. I mean, that was normal back then. And you were happy just to
You were
get
happy to
home,
get it.
just to get that.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yes.
Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
what if people want to connect with you, Patricia? If they have any questions or looking to expand their portfolio, do business with you? What's the best way for them to connect with you?
Best way is either via email or my cell phone is on my card. I'm also on Facebook and all the other social media. But
I would tell them.
Yes,
Sure.
so my email is pnagle@fsblouise.com, or my cell is 361-649-9769. We also have a great website that gives the history on the bank.
Okay.
They would want to have any of that information. Our new location is off of Century Boulevard in Sugarland, 200 Century Boulevard, and so
Great area.
we're over there, and they're Monday through Friday.
Okay.
And so we're there also, but tag this video and say connect, go through Messenger, you know.
Yeah,
we have
send
all
a
kinds
direct
of
message.
We have all ways to connect and stay connected,
Mhm.
but I appreciate Richard, you inviting me and
Yeah, thanks.
visiting with both of y'all. It's been great.
We appreciate everybody for tuning
Yeah,
in.
thank you.
We are pushing out the Ballard House, so if you can make a donation to help. It's for life-threatening treatments. It just allows them a place to stay for free
Oh, wow.
up to 90 days. So please donate, even if it's $5, $10, whatever. And we'll see you guys next week.
Thank you so
Bye-bye.
much.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I meant to give John like a big shout out, but we'll do that next.
Richard, it's
Yeah.
not stopping. Oh, something.
What happened?